The Chiefs are ready to explode against the Raiders, and the fuse, his name is Rashee Rice. Welcome in, everybody. It's RGR Football. This is Ryan going rogue. Nice to see you. The weather is crap outside, so today's Tuesday breakdown is going to be in the studio like it normally is on non-Tuesdays. Want to get here because I'm pretty excited about what's about to go on, because we've seen a ton of issues with the Chiefs. A ton of talking heads want to talk trash and just take it to them because they're not living up to expectations. Well, so far, the expectations are exactly where we needed them to be. We knew this was going to be a tough gauntlet to start the season. I'm going to give you the update on Rashee Rice. I'm going to give you the update on where they stand, what's going to happen when Rashee Rice returns this week, next week, and how it's going to look as Chiefs get ready to get back to full strength. It is a process. It is not all at once. And I'm going to tell you exactly how this season is going to go, because I am assured now that the path that they're on is the path that I had planned for. If you don't know me, my name's Ryan Tracy. I've been doing this going on 15 years in all sorts of media, podcasting, and otherwise. If you've never seen me before, I don't know what you've been doing in Chiefs Kingdom, but welcome. So I hope you will enjoy it. Like, sub, hit that bell. Make sure that you're part of this process. I'm an old ball coach. Position coaches back down in the high school ranks, college strength conditioning, physiological development. I've done a ton of consulting for agents and guys around the league, et cetera, et cetera. And so this is my perspective. This is my take, and that's why I'm going rogue. Every now and then I got to throw that out for you regulars. Sorry to hit you again, but there's a lot of folks that are joining the channel that have never been here before. So here's what it is. Rashee Rice is coming back tomorrow. You're going to see this Tuesday night, as it's Tuesday afternoon right now. Tomorrow, Rashee Rice will be back on the field. I don't know how much he's going to do. It might be a 10-10-10 walkthrough. It might just be a normal, like, Shells walkthrough. So it's not going to be much. You're going to see video from all the sports beat reporters of Rashee Rice on the field, catching little passes, doing little drills. It's going to be fabulous. Everybody's going to lose their freaking minds. It doesn't really mean anything other than the fact that they're getting him out there. Part of Rashee Rice's impact has already been felt because he's been in the room. And I think the uptick that we've seen from the receivers the last couple of weeks has been part of having Rashee in the room with them, in the building, working with them. Knowing that you have your number one means that you're about to be able to take chances, to take risks, to take your game up a little bit, knowing that there's still someone that they can rely on. That starts today. Tomorrow, as you're going to see this on Wednesday when he will be on the practice field. Now, here's the thing. ProfitX, America's #1 sports prediction market, is a peer-to-peer sports prediction market where users play against each other instead of a sports book versus the house. You will almost always get the best price on any spread, money line, total, or player prop, since you're playing against other people rather than the book. ProfitX offers dual currency system, either Profit Points or Profit Cash, and operates across 40 states. Use the promo code RGR and claim up to $200 in Profit Cash on all plays for the first 30 days playing on the site. ProfitX gives you the best lines in the space, and you can even set your own odds on specific wagers on your players, all at ProfitX. Go there and use the code RGR. Terms and conditions apply. How it's going to go is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be every snap for Rashee Rice and Tyquan Thornton gets nothing and Juju Smith-Schuster gets very little. That's not how it's going to go, because you got to ease in Rashee Rice. The last thing in the world that Andy Reid or anyone on this staff wants to do is put too much on Rashee, get a soft tissue injury, a hamstring, a hip adductor, anything that slows him down in his development and the group's development through this process. So here is what's going to happen. He's going to practice. He's going to play this week against the Raiders, and he will look explosive on a few plays. I don't know that he's going to get more than 30 offensive snaps. I think that might even be pushing it. We'll see, and we'll have a better idea later in the week of just kind of what the tone is. And I'll try to pop in later in the week myself and give you a little bit of what my read is on that. We're going to film from Dan tomorrow, all the stats from Gary as well. So make sure you're checking those out. Thursday, I'm going to try to give you a little recap. And then Friday, we're going to preview the game like we always do with our game plan video with me and Dan. We'll probably do it live like we've been doing lately, because that's been a hell of a lot of fun. So make sure you're here on the lives. But 30-ish snaps for him is going to be fine, maybe plus or minus, and I'll update you on that. But then it's going to start to ramp up, and things are going to start to change because he's going to get fed a little bit. Now, what you saw last week is a good indicator of what you're going to see down the stretch. Hollywood Brown had an explosive game underneath for this team because of two guys. First, it was Tyquan Thornton, who's done a hell of a job in his role this season to this point. And then they got X back. And that gave you this surge deep that Hollywood could then come under and work the other routes. Hollywood being alone at times against the Detroit Lions is a sign that it's working. The things that we've told you about on this channel, and I've been harping on for years, is if you get the speed back, the threat deep is what changes it all. That's what makes defenses have to respect you. That's what gives you that space underneath, between the hashes and underneath the 20 to down to like the 8, something like that, just behind the linebackers, well in front of the safeties, that kind of area once things get going. The stretch does that. Tyquan Thornton and Xavier Worthy are that. You can run other guys on it, and certainly Hollywood Brown can do some of that work as well. I don't expect Rashee to do a ton of it. I don't think Rashee is going to displace a whole lot of X alignments. I think he's going to be mostly in the slot. He might get to the Z. He and X might be changing some things. I think the two guys that are probably right now underwhelming in terms of performance, and Hollywood Brown, who just had that one, but for a season has been kind of lying low, and Tyquan Thornton, those are guys that are going to still put up their numbers in terms of big splash plays. Now, last week was an anomaly for Tyquan Thornton because the deep threat, I think, was kind of thwarted. And quite frankly, I don't think they pushed it. I think they tried to give it a rest because Tyquan Thornton and Xavier and Rashee Rice are going to be on the field together at sometimes next week. It's not going to be all of a sudden. Tyquan didn't get a target against the Lions, so this week he doesn't get anything. Like, Tyquan Thornton's still going to play, and he's still going to provide that stretch. But it's the combinations. When you have 11 personnel, and Tyquan's one of them, with Xavier and Rashee, that's crazy. And that's going to scare the hell out of some defensive coordinators and the D-backs themselves. Now, how they mix and match is going to be an experimentation. So as the snap percentage goes up for Rashee, I think you'll see some pullback from Tyquan, certainly. You'll see some pullback from Juju a little bit. You'll see some pullback from Hollywood. But it's going to be Xavier and Rashee that are going to start to, by week 12, 13, 14, in that range, it's going to be Rashee and Xavier as much as possible. They're going to be the predominant receivers. They'll still be an 11, and the rest of the guys will work through. And they should, because they've all earned it. Tyquan's earned it. Juju has certainly earned it. Hollywood has earned it. And this is back to the old days when Tyreek was the focus point, yes, and you don't have anybody quite that level of athleticism. Even Xavier's speed doesn't decelerate and change direction like Tyreek did. But you also had guys that were catching the ball all over the place, all kinds of smaller role players that were catching the ball. Patrick did something for the first time in a while against the Lions that was 8 guys caught passes, and that's what you're going to see more of. That's going to happen the more that they're back. The only thing that screws up this plan is if somebody gets hurt. And that's the one thing they have to guard on. Hollywood in particular, but obviously Xavier and Juju as well. Juju's a tough SOB, so I'm not too worried about it. I think Tyquan has shown that he's pretty resilient as well. So it becomes about balancing and making sure you're getting explosion versus risk for injury. And that's the balance that Andy Reid's going to have to strike. But the last thing that goes into this that we have not talked about is the fact that Trey Smith played maybe his best game of the season this last week. You got Kingsley Suamataia being very comfortable. He's making good progress. A lot of folks are talking about that. And as much as they're wrong about Tyquan Thornton just sailing off into the sunset and never being thought of again, the fact that they're right about Kingsley Suamataia is a good sign. The only thing that right now is a question mark is Josh Simmons and what his status is. And we don't have an update as I record this yet. So bear with me for that, and we'll let you know there. I don't think it's going to be permanent. Does he miss the Raiders week? It is a possibility. But whether he does or doesn't, I don't think it's anything permanent at this point. Hopefully that's the way it is. From what I'm hearing, it isn't anything that's going to keep him out for an extended period. They can survive. I think Jalen Moore earned that respect that they can survive. It is Max Crosby. So it's you don't get much break from going down from Aiden Hutchinson to Max Crosby because they're right about there. But I think that they're going to be able to manage it. And as long as they do that, the surge of the offensive line in the last 3 weeks has been what has settled down Patrick Mahomes and allowed all the rest of this to happen. It has allowed Patrick to look deep, to hit Tyquan, to continue to push. Remember the first couple of games, the deep connection wasn't there. It was very hit and miss, and they had to work it, and they did. They're going to do that. There might even be a little of that with Rashee Rice. So be prepared for a couple of dang, that was close, but it didn't work. It's not the end of the world, and they're going to be all right. But that's what we're going to see going forward. I'm very excited about this week. I hope that you guys are as well. So have a good time. Enjoy your week. Hit us tomorrow when we got stats, we got film, we got the whole 9 yards. And then we will get you the rest of the week as well. Thanks for being with me tonight. I am on a short leash because I got all kinds of stuff going on. Thank you. Like, sub, hit that bell, get the gear in the store, and do all the stuff because I'm going to be with you tomorrow. You can find me on Locked On and everything else. I appreciate you guys. Have a great night. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.